Well, the Jewish celebration of Passover is underway. The ancient story of the Jews' exodus from Egypt reflects a modern-day story of one humanitarian group's effort to save lives.
Temple Emmanuel and Humane Borders are hosting a Freedom Seder with special guest actor Ed Asner. Bob Feynman and Juanita Molina from Humane Borders joins us now to tell us all about this. Let's start with the mission of the organization.
Our mission is to save lives. We place water tanks in the desert. We have permission from landowners to place the tanks on their land so people that are out there lost don't die of thirst or frostbite or any other elements. We know people cross the border and we know they get lost. This is not about whether you agree or disagree with that, because it's a fact. And there are deaths. We try and take death out of the equation of immigration. The amount of bodies recovered so far, you have a better handle on that.
Here in the Tucson sector, we've seen over 2,000 human remains recovered just here alone.
Just this year?
No.
Okay.
On an annual basis, we find approximately 150 human remains. And so really what we're looking at here is we went back and we mapped out where people had died, found out how they died in a collaboration with law enforcement agencies and also the medical examiner's office. And from that analysis, we saw the #1 reason that people were dying in the desert was lack of water, dehydration. And after 12 years of death mapping, we see that people are dying closer to the international line and further from the towns and roads. And so we're really seeing some very desperate situations in a very remote location.
You know, this has been such a hot button issue for so long. And I think it's been an uphill battle for you guys.
It's an uphill battle because too often people inject politics into it or confuse our mission. There's nothing political about cold, hard facts. As I said, whether you agree or disagree, they cross and they die. Actually, we start by going to Mexico and trying to convince people not to cross the border. We'd love to be out of business. We'd like to know that everybody we speak to in Mexico listens to us and does not cross the border. But despite our pleading, we know some still will. So if they're going to do that and put themselves in danger, at least we can try and prevent them from dying.
And are those some of the misconceptions that people think that your organization is actually helping these people cross the borders?
Sure. We're told that what we do in Mexico is invite them across the border. We tell them that there's always enough water once they cross the border and they shouldn't worry. There are all kinds of misconceptions out there about us. And that's another one of the reasons we're so thrilled we have this opportunity on Monday night so we can do away with all of those and really talk about nothing more than the humanitarian effort we engage in.
So how did the idea for a Freedom Seder come about?
I found 2 years ago, when I became more than a volunteer, I was one of the only 2 Jewish people involved in the effort. My Sunday school memories are dim, but I certainly remember the Exodus. And my thought was, who should know more about wandering the desert than us? Therefore, perhaps I can start knocking on doors in the Tucson Jewish community looking for more involvement. And 2 years later, we now have what's happening Monday night at Temple Emmanuel. Juanita saw me every step of the way. She laughed with me and she cried with me.
And let's talk about the connection with Ed Asner. I mean, that's really fun to have him coming into Tucson.
Well, we're really excited to have him. I'm actually his #1 fan, ironically. But no, our chair actually had a connection to Ed Asner, and really he is someone who has championed causes around human rights and humanitarian aid. I think that he recognizes that really what we're going through here in the Tucson sector is our, civil rights crisis. We have a huge human rights crisis happening here, and I think bringing attention to the deaths in the desert and the ongoing violations that occur all along the U.S.-Mexico border will help to bring some peace and hopefully save some lives.
Well, congratulations on having such a great concept and pulling together this Freedom Seder, and have a good time on Monday night.
We do this with the Border Patrol, by the way. That's one other misconception I must erase.
Oh, okay.
We work with them, we do not work against them, because it's all about saving lives. And thank you for your good wishes.
All right. Well, Bob and Juanita, thank you very much. We're going to tell everybody that they can hopefully still take part if they get on the phone and see if there's some tickets left. Humane Borders is co-chairing a special Passover Seder dinner with special guest actor Ed Asner at the Temple Emmanuel on Monday evening. To learn more, just call 398-5053 or go online to humaneborders.org.
And don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend will be right back before you know it.